Now we will be dealing with the local governments and panchayats. Recall that the constitution speaks about division of powers between the center and the states. So it has become one of the bulkiest constitution in the world for the same reason that it is dividing its power between both the center and state in a very detailed manner. But when we see the actual functioning of the constitution, it is not the operation of constitution at Delhi alone, but to the most remote corners of India. The constitution applies equally from the remotest corners of India till the national capital. So when we are dealing with this particular aspect, we will see that the constitution, in order to ensure that the grassroots development happens, or there is something called as grassroots democracy, the constitution follows something called as the three-tier model. Now, what the three-tier model of governance says? The three-tier model of governance says that the power is divided in India not only between the union government and the state government, but also with the local governments, that is the governance at the grassroots level or at the local level. So, we have the urban local bodies, also known as ULBs, and also rural local bodies known as RLBs or Panchayats. Now we will see about the local governments and also the Panchayats. So coming to the historical background, we have seen that in the ancient India, or Indian villages you can say, acted as their own republics. So there was the power which was shared amongst various other individuals, and these villages were making their decisions for the common benefit of the entire village. So when it comes to the functioning of the democracies, we will see that the democracy should not only be ensured at the central level, but it should be ensured at even the grassroots levels, the lowest of the levels. So here what we have seen is, historically during the ancient India, this system of village democracies existed. And this even continued in medieval India, where the village used to determine its own laws, the policies which they followed. There used to be persons who used to rule the village, although even in a hereditary manner. We will see that the historical background of the local governance in India comes from the ancient period itself. So during the British era also, this system continued till certain extent. But at the time of making of the constitution, local self-government, the chapter pertaining to the local self-government was not discussed in detail or elaborate. Why? Because the primary concentration was between, that is the discussion between the division of powers between the center as well as the states. Now coming to the taking into consideration the need for local governance or the governance at the base level or the grassroots level, the constitutional amendments were passed in the year 1992, that is 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment of 1992. Both the amendments in the year 1992 had brought into the constitution the chapter pertaining to the urban local bodies and also the rural local bodies, also known as municipalities and panchayats respectively. So now we will deal with the composition of these tiers or these levels of the government. Now types of local governments. When we speak about rural local bodies, we will see that they are popularly known as Panchayati Raj institutions. The word Panchayat comes from Pancha, that is the 5 eldermen of the village. So this system existed from the ancient India and also continued in the medieval India also, whereby the village elders, the seniormost 5 village elders used to take decisions concerning that particular village. Let it be law and order situation or let it be the division of powers, and they also acted as adjudicating authorities or the authorities who were giving the judgments in the cases of disputes between the village members. So that system was taken and it was introduced under this particular constitutional amendment as rural local bodies. So it was based on the ideals of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, and who has insisted that the democracy should go to the grassroots level or to the poorest of poor persons, so that even the poorest and of poor person has got some sort of authority in making their own decisions. So, Panchayati Raj institutions come within the purview of something called as rural local bodies. So, they are called as Panchayati Raj institutions, or in short PRIs. Then we have urban local bodies, that is the local governance system which will be placed in the urban areas, the more developed areas, the class 1 towns of the country, or the cities or metropolitans. So, here we will see that urban local bodies exist in the form of municipal corporations in a big cities, tier 1 cities or urban agglomerations around the country, like Delhi, New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata and all. In those kind of areas we will find municipal corporations which has a greater authority. Then we have municipal councils, usually in tier 1 towns, and Nagar Panchayats, that is the transition areas between the city and the rural areas. So, semi-urban or semi-rural areas, those kind of areas we have the existence of something called as Nagar Panchayats. Now, we will see in detail about the composition of each and every level. So, Panchayati Raj institutions, that is the rural local bodies, here it is a 3-tier system. That is, within the Panchayati Raj institutions also 3 different levels are there, right from the village level till the district level. So, at the village level we have Gram Panchayat. At the village level, the most common thing which we will see is Gram Panchayat, which will be established at the village level, consisting of the elected members from that particular village, headed by an authority called as Sarpanch. So, amongst these 5 persons, the 5 persons will elect someone as their Sarpanch. Then you have Panchayati Samiti, that is Panchayati Samiti which is present at the block level, that is above the village level. You can call it as Mandal level or Tahsil level. And then at the district level, you have something called as 𝗧𝗧 So, the Panchayati Samiti exists at an intermediary level or block level. Then at the district level, you have a body called as 𝗧𝗧 and the composition and functions at each level will be examined. Now, when it comes to the Gram Panchayat is the lowest level when it comes to the democracy in India. So, the actual India resides in the villages. So, when we speak about the existence of grassroots democracy at the village level, we will see that at the village level we have Sarpanch and Panchas or Panch. So, based upon the village or the size of the village, there will be elections held in the different wards and members will be elected known as Panch, and these Panch will elect amongst themselves someone to preside over as the Sarpanch, that is the president of the village or the head of the village. So, the functions of the Gram Panchayat is for implementation of government schemes. Certain government schemes, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee schemes, all these kind of schemes, Food for Work program, then rejuvenation of various common property resources, etc. So, wherever the government programs are there, let it be the union government or the state government programs, the implementation at the village level is the responsibility of the Gram Panchayat. It is the responsibility of Gram Panchayat to implement these schemes as given by the central or the state governments. Then maintenance of public facilities. Maintenance of public facilities like maintenance of roads, maintenance of electric lines, maintenance of drinking water facilities, maintenance of waste disposal, maintenance of we can say the common property resources like grass pastures for cattle, maintenance of crematoriums or burial grounds, maintenance of primary healthcare centers. So, it falls within the purview of the Gram Panchayat. Then we have village development plans. Since the circumstances of each and every village is different, it is necessary for the Gram Panchayat to develop and implement its own schemes. So, we can see that under Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, that is Manrega, we will find that the power has been given to the Gram Panchayats to decide as to what kind of projects they want to undertake for the development of their village. What kind of projects they need for the development of village. Why? Because the needs of one village may not be the same with the needs of the other village. So, in order to take into consideration the local circumstances, this autonomy has been given to the Gram Panchayats. This freedom has been given to the Gram Panchayat to develop and prepare their own plans. Now, coming to the Panchayat Samiti, that is Panchayat Samiti at the block level, or you can call it as mandal level, etc. Then the composition, it consists of the chairman and the members elected from Gram Panchayats. So, at the block level, you have a Panchayat Samiti which is headed by a chairman, and then we have members elected to the Panchayat Samiti from the Gram Panchayats. That is, for instance, there is one particular block, and under that block 10 villages are there, and each village is having its own Gram Panchayat. So, when it comes to the Panchayat Samiti, all the Pancha members of the Gram Panchayat will elect the members to represent their particular village in the block level, that is the Panchayat Samiti. And these members who have been elected by the Gram Panchayats will nominate one amongst themselves as the chairman of the Panchayat Samiti at the block level. So, their function is a little bit more than the Gram Panchayats. So, their function is to make or to undertake developmental activities of all the Gram Panchayats within the block. So, they cannot restrict themselves to only one particular village, since all the villages are part of that particular block, respective blocks. So, what they are supposed to do is they are supposed to carry out the developmental activities aimed at development of all those villages which are there within that concerned block. Then their job is also, since they are at the upper level above the Gram Panchayats, their job crucially pertains to the coordination amongst the Gram Panchayats. So, they have to ensure coordination between each and every Gram Panchayat within their block, so that on the whole there is a proper implementation of the plans, proper implementation of the scheme, and proper preparation of the proposals for the development of all the villages within that particular block. So, their job, majority of their job consists of ensuring coordination between the Gram Panchayats within that respective block. Now, this takes us to the next level, that is known as the 𝗳𝗏_Parishad. Now, coming to the 𝗳𝗏_Parishad, there 𝗳𝗏_Parishad will be there at the district level. At the village level, we have Gram Panchayat. At the block level, we have Panchayat Samiti. At the district level, we have 𝗳𝗏_Parishad, who will be headed by a president. Now, the members will be elected from the Panchayat Samitis. So, members who are going to represent in the 𝗳𝗏_Parishad will be elected by the members of that respective Panchayat Samitis at the block level. Now, the functions are wider. That is, their job is for planning and coordination amongst the various Gram Panchayats and Panchayat Samitis. So, since they are at the district level, they have this crucial job of ensuring coordination between Gram Panchayats as well as the Panchayat Samitis from time to time, and allocation of resources to the Panchayat Samitis. Since they are sitting at the district level, their job mainly pertains to the allocations of money and resources to the various Panchayat Samitis based upon their requirements or based upon their demands and what are the immediate needs. So, the 𝗳𝗏_Parishad is a more powerful body when it comes to the rural local bodies or Panchayati Raj institutions. So, at the district level, we have 𝗳𝗏_Parishad. At the block level, we have Panchayat Samiti, and at the village level, we have Gram Panchayat, whose job is to ensure that the people in that particular villages take the decisions for the betterment of their own future. Now, this takes us to the next component, that is the urban local bodies. Now, coming to the urban local bodies are organized in different levels. Unlike Gram Panchayats, Panchayat Samiti and the 𝗳𝗏_Parishad, that is from the village level till the district level, you don't have that kind of classification when it comes to the urban local bodies. Why? Because the city is only one. So you cannot couple 2 or 3 cities and make a single urban local body. So here what happens is, first and foremost is municipal corporations. The system of having municipal corporations has been brought from the British India. So the presidency towns of Bombay, Madras and Calcutta were initially established as the corporations. So we can trace the history of municipal corporations in India from 1600s themselves, where the Britishers have established their corporations at Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. So large urban areas come within the purview of the municipal corporations. So there we have this system of mayor and the corporators. Then in the smaller urban areas, that is tier 1 towns, etc., we have the existence of municipal councils. Tier 1 towns and tier 2 towns, we have municipal councils. They may not be as big as the capital cities or the big cities like Delhi, Chennai, etc. Here they are only a smaller urban areas, or those areas which are just changing into a full-fledged urban area. So in that particular regions, we have something called as municipal councils. Then we have something called as Nagar Panchayats. Now when we speak about Nagar Panchayats, they fall in the transitional areas, that is from rural to urban areas, that is on the fringes of the urban area or on the outskirts of the urban area, where you can find both the merging of rural areas as well as the urban area. For that particular areas, you have something called as Nagar Panchayats. So Nagar Panchayats usually come within the transition area between the rural as well as the urban areas. So it may be a Gram Panchayat, then there may be a municipal corporation, and the areas between these particular two areas may fall under the category of Nagar Panchayats, as the case may be. So for the large areas and large cities, you have municipal corporation. Then for the small areas, small urban areas, you have something called as municipal councils, and where we are speaking about transition areas, there we have something called as Nagar Panchayats, that is transition between rural to urban areas. Now we will see the composition of each and every of these authorities. So urban local bodies. Now when it comes to the urban local bodies, the functions are same. That is, the primary function of the urban local bodies is to ensure urban planning. Now what is involved in the urban planning? All the cities which we see today have developed from villages. From villages, they became towns, and from towns, they have become cities. And from cities, they have become metropolitan areas, and now we have something called as urban agglomerations. That is, whereby the cities are spreading for a radius more than 100 kilometers. So in that particular situation, you need an authority to administer for the purpose of ensuring local governance of that entire area, that is the urban agglomerations and all. So for that, you have municipal corporations or municipal councils if it is a small area. Their primary job is to ensure urban planning. Now urban planning includes the town planning. That is the method in which the buildings are constructed. Why? Because haphazard development will lead to much destruction and deterioration of quality of life in the cities. So to ensure that there is a proper quality of living or standard of living in the cities, and that too unauthorized construction activity does not take place in the cities, you have the town planning being taken care of by the urban local bodies. So without the prior sanction of the municipal authorities, one cannot construct any kind of building in these particular areas. Or for example, in order to run the shops also, you require various kinds of trade licenses from the municipal authorities, and periodical health inspections will be taken over by the municipal authorities in the cities. So this takes us to the next thing, that is infrastructure and management. When we speak about the maintenance of infrastructure and management, the job solely lies on the municipal authorities, that is municipal corporation or council or the Nagar Panchayat. The first and foremost thing is maintenance of infrastructure, that is maintenance of roads, maintenance of public buildings, then maintenance of street lighting, then waste disposal, garbage disposal, sewage disposal. Then we have something called as disposal of the dead bodies, that is crematoriums and burial grounds. Then entomology wing, that is prevention of spread of diseases etc. or insects in the areas, and town planning, that is urban forestry. We can see the maintenance of the trees or green patches in the cities etc. It falls within the exclusive domain of the municipality. And granting the trade licenses to the commercial enterprises, cinema theatres, buildings, shopping malls etc. It is the job of the municipality. And next one is sanitation and public health. So, sanitation and public health, since the urban areas are too crowded with the people, it becomes necessary to ensure the sanitation and public health in the form of proper drinking water facilities, proper sewage treatment, proper drainage facilities, and proper maintenance of the healthcare centers to ensure that there is no spread of any kind of unwanted diseases. Why? Because in history we have seen that a small disease or epidemic enters the city and almost half of the population is gone. So, to avoid that kind of system, to ensure proper garbage disposal is there, and to make sure that the safe healthy environment is maintained, it is the total burden upon the municipality to ensure these things. Right from the sweeping till the maintenance of the government buildings, it falls within the purview of the municipal authorities. So, first and foremost thing is urban planning, that is the planning the manner in which the constructions can be carried out in the city. Next one is infrastructure management, management of various kinds of infrastructure, roads, buildings, burial grounds, medical centers, health centers, community centers, all these things come within the category of the municipality. Then sanitation and public health, exclusively maintenance of sanitation facilities and public health facilities. That is, you have urban primary health care centers etc. being run under the control of the municipal authorities in the urban areas. Then when it comes to the importance and challenges, we will see that the local bodies serve as one of the most approachable forms of governance at the local level. For instance, there is a problem of drinking water, or there is a problem of sanitation in the rural area or in the urban area. So, the citizens need not straightly go to the state government or the union government for the redressal of the same. They can approach the local authorities, like in villages they can approach the Gram Panchayat, and in cities they can approach the municipal corporation authorities for the rectification of the same or for seeking redressal of their grievances. So, this indicates that there is some sort of decentralization of power which happens when we speak about rural local bodies and when we speak about urban local bodies. So, decentralization of power between rural local bodies and urban local bodies from the state government or the union government can be clearly seen in the aspects of or in the context of the rural local bodies or urban local bodies. And remember, the first and foremost reason for introduction of the local bodies or local governance is to ensure that the democracy can be ensured at the grassroots levels, that is from the bottommost level. Each and every citizen should be able to lend his voice for the development of his locality or development of his area. So, democratic participation at the lowest level comes from the urban local bodies or rural local bodies. Then we have challenges. However, there are certain challenges when we speak about the local bodies. The first and foremost is financial constraints. So, usually the devolution of finances between the local bodies happens upon the recommendation of State Finance Commission. Even though the recommendations are made, the financial position of all the states in India is not good enough to grant funds to all the local bodies or to fund all the dream projects of the local bodies. So, that is a biggest thing. Next one is lack of awareness. Many people, especially in the urban areas, on the contrary, where you have more literate population, there we will find that they don't have any kind of awareness pertaining to the functioning of the local governance. For them, the government means either state government or central government. In majority of the cases, they don't even know the existence of the local governance, that is municipal authorities, or sometimes in villages the Gram Panchayat. Then political interference, too much of political interference as it happens in the central government as well as the state government can be seen at the village levels or in the city limits also. Especially when it comes to the Gram Panchayat and all, there is excessive political interference when it comes to the village level, Gram Panchayats, Panchayat Samiti as well as the 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. So, due to the bickering of the political powers, the developmental ideals usually do not happen. So, the role of local governments in strengthening the democracy is very much profound. We cannot neglect by saying that they are only local authorities, they don't have wide powers. But despite that particular thing, they have survived and they have ensured that the democracy goes to the bottommost levels. And there is a need for empowerment of these local governance and to give more autonomy to the local governments, so that there is a trickle down effect of the development from the union level till the grassroots level, that is the village level. Then future prospects. There are future prospects for better governance, introduction of digitization, ensuring digital literacy, creating awareness amongst the people about the functioning of the local bodies will ensure that the democracy truly reaches the common man in the country. In conclusion, I would like to say that local governments play a crucial role in the development of the nation. They represent the ancient Indian ideals of democracy, that is hearing the voice of each and every person right from the village level till the capital level. So, here we will see that the experiment of democracy, how it unfolds from the national level till the local level. So, the experiment of local government needs to be taken into consideration by both the state governments as well as the union governments. Why? Because instead of having a grand plan at the central level or at the state level, it is better to have localized plans needed for the development of the local units. Why? Because these local units compose a greater whole. So, here we have to see that empowerment of the urban local bodies and rural local bodies is the need of the hour. Why? Because here we can see that the citizen will have direct relationship between the state and both the governments. So, instead of neglecting the rural local bodies and the urban local bodies, one has to take into consideration that the more they empower the RLBs, that is rural local bodies and urban local bodies, they are going to ensure maximum benefit for the public at large. Rather than making plans at the center as well as the state, it is better to empower these grassroots democracies to ensure that the ideals as laid down by the makers of the constitution in the Indian constitution and as clearly remarked in the preamble, that is social justice, can be ensured that only through the empowerment of local governments or local democracies.